Welcome to the Station of Light, Keepers of Light. And I call you that because you are just that, Keepers of Light. So this is the first recording that I'm doing on the Station of Light. And I want to begin by immediately having us all become aware of our surroundings. And it doesn't matter because the languaging that I'll be using will be transferable and identifiable in that way that it will relate directly to your own reality. Even as you are able to participate within the station of light, and it is a center point of the experience that is now being verbalized through me, so that we can all partake in what is intended to be an exploratively fun space for us all keepers of light. There is platform, there is a basis to that which we stand on, the ground that we stand on. And the station has a platform, it has a ground, it has an actual space that can and will become experienceable in the 3D formatting, but in many ways where we're at now is the before part of that journey. And it is important to be able to identify what the environment that we are in the first place is, in that way that will make permissible the experiences of the station of light that are coming through all of the ways of functioning that are a part of it. And these ways of functioning are really the blueprint of reality as it is for everyone, not just for keepers of light, not just as the station of light. The ground, the walls, are all frameworks of what it is that we are experiencing from that which preceded us, in terms of interpretation of what it is that we qualify for as security. For example, if we're looking at the makeup of the composition of the boundaries that are around us, the platforms that we stand on, what we are standing on creates an experience of security, for one. And I'm going to hone in on this word security because it does present a way in which we are all able to participate within the station that can be resonant regardless of what space that you are in. When it pertains to being held and being held as a concept, being held and being supported, when it comes to boundaries, which is really, if we're looking at the walls of a home, or we're looking at the floors of the home, we're not just looking at the physicality of it, we're also able to see constructively, structurally, that what it presents when we are all factoring in the human condition is a collective experience. And that collective experience is supportive to the human experience, regardless of what plays out within the medium of experience that we are all sharing in, if we're to consider that we're all like in the same field of experience. So here you are, you're in your space, and I want you to take in the fact that when you're looking at your space, you're looking at information all around you. You're looking at information in that way that it relates to how you are perceiving and how you're orienting from the perspective that you're in. We have to factor in that your orientation has so many different layers to it, and that what differentiates the experience between where I am sitting here and where you are is not necessarily anything that what differentiates it is the narrative, is the storylines that are arising from the perception that we are holding in terms of how we are localized within our space and time in this period of time. So I want to begin here where we're looking at surrounding structures, and we're looking at the fact that when we are now interrelating with one another, we're interrelating at a structural level with structure, that we can consider the human body itself as structure. We can consider the room and the room that we're in this metaphorical space that we are now looking at, exploring these different layers of reality, the multifaceted layers of reality that once upon a time we're coming from, not necessarily factoring in the differentiation. We have not been differentiating and distinguishing some of the information that has been a part of our experience all of this time. I mean, it's the surroundings that we're in. They have always been, and we can start here in this space of neutrality based conversation or narrative in that way that will be understandable to all who are open to hearing, or all who resonate in that way, that there is a particular aspect to that which I am speaking. There are particular aspects to that which I will be speaking that will pertain to the different levels of function of reality that we are all partaking in as an experience, and also partaking in as a part of the makeup of beingness that we are all in. So I know that the station of light is composed of a level of stability enough for me to now have this position of conveying from within it the inner interpretive layers of its construction, even before it solidifies into reality. And the solidification is not necessarily something that will happen outside of ourselves. It is something that will and does occur as an aspect of the participatory way in which we are all engaging within it. That each of us resonate in that way, that we can refer to the ways in which we exist as an ecosystematic intertwining or intersystematic correlation, as an intersystematic correlation. And so I'll go with that, so that we are correlating with one another, that we are harmonizing with one another, each of us distinct in our function, each of us distinct in our space of experience of localized time, each of us distinct within our uniqueness, each of us distinct in our sovereignty, as we now are becoming the multi-dimensional. We are not becoming that. We are now embodying the multi-dimensional layers of the construction of reality that we are already in. And so I I use the metaphor of a playground, and I wanted to use that metaphor because I have recently now been remembering who I was as a child, and who I those aspects of me that I am now reintegrating into the collection of data that I had acquired throughout my journey up until now. And I am not saying this as though it is different from the experiences that anyone else is having, whether or not they consider, or I considered, or anyone puts a label to that differentiation of humanity. We all have been collecting data all along. By the the relationships that we have been having, we've all been collecting data by the very experiences that we've been having. The thing is we haven't been orienting to those experiences from the aspect of understanding that we can orient, and that we have the ability to reorient ourselves, that we have the ability to, excuse me, I'll take that as a message that we can fly over. We can fly over and see our experiences from that higher perspective. And it's not necessarily that it's a better or a better perspective, but that it grants us the ability to now reorient our position of looking at our reality, and therefore how we are experiencing our reality, and therefore how we can begin to use the very tools of information and data that we have gathered already in terms of working as a coherent system of being. And so the station of light is a metaphor for now. It's a metaphor. It's symbolic. But it is something that I can speak to from it having become identifiable to me through my embodiment and experiences here. And it exists in you through your own engagement within that orientation of seeing the structure that you are in, the structure of your life, the structure of your relationships, the structure of all the different aspects of reality that at the core exists at a structural level before it is that we begin to engage within our interpretation or our narrated interpretation of it. So I will say again, welcome to the Station of Light, and I am looking forward to meeting all of the different functions. Excuse me. My throat chakra is here, acting up. I'm looking forward to meeting all of the different functions, which is you, of the station, and how and experiencing how coherence exists and how coherence is reflected from all of our participation from within it, from within ourselves, within it. Until next time.